Hey, Mr. Libra, Queen B, how y'all doing? I don't feel like setting up my light and all that, so we just gonna get a black screen today. EJ, you already know what time it is. You know, because contrary to popular belief, we know them people be watching for what Prima got to say just so they can try to get ahead of what I'm showing you compared to how they want to spin it. But like I said, from the moment I started creating my collages that had them in an uproar, I'm the only one that could break down my shit. So to try to provoke me to come on this platform to elaborate certain points just so they can get back on this bitch and try to manipulate what I say, because again, there's people that follow them that don't know that Prima Donna is gonna stand on what she said. Ain't gonna be no flip flopping. Ain't gonna be no, well, this month you said this, and next month you're gonna say this. Last year you said this, but this year you're talking about that. No, Prima Donna is gonna be consistent with whatever it is that I got to say. But I'm great, Queen Bean. I'm sorry, Queen B. Thanks for asking. How are y'all doing in this chat? Just play a song and then I'm gonna come back. I think this gonna be my theme song for them because Prima got them feeling some type of way. Hold on. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. It don't cost you a thing, and I ain't finna sit on here all night begging for cash outs. Just hit the like. I had to play that for my number one super fan that can't do nothing but keep Prima Donna on his mind for some strange reason. But it's mighty funny that when Prima started to talk about the coin term that was put out here for the public, which was super fan, and I talk about a collective of individuals, there's always one motherfucker that got to get on this platform and play when I don't know why he like to bark up my tree over here when he got his own motherfucking shit he need to tend to. Makes no sense to me. And that's clearly what I've been putting on display. They go above and beyond trying to refute what they think I'm presenting to my audience, skip what I actually say, put themselves in talking points that ain't for they stupid ass, and think I'm gonna go back and forth with they motherfucking ass. They ain't got the good sense to recognize that even as I talk about the super fans to the general public, that may only include R. Kelly's so-called supporters. But the gag is when I speak on super fans, I'm talking about the motherfuckers that said they was for R. Kelly, the motherfuckers that came to this platform capping, talking about they keeping a narrative going from surviving R. Kelly. I'm talking about a whole group of individuals. But like I said, it's always one motherfucker they got to be the one trying to jump ahead of the initial point and skip why I keep saying these motherfuckers is dumb. They got to be. Because anybody that know anything about a Rico will clear as day understand why I personally separate myself from anything they got going on, regardless of what their intent, what their purpose, or who they say they doing it for. I clearly separate myself the same way that anybody with common sense would say that R. Kelly should have had his legal defense separating him from the bullshit that he knew very well he wasn't a party to, but got the blame for. So what it looked like for me getting on this platform, watching this shit, reading the paperwork, watching all these people talking about they here to free R. Kelly, watching all these people saying they here to keep R. Kelly down, but motherfuckers selectively get mad at me because I have just as much right to give my perspective to my audience. But if you want to get on your platform and start spin narratives about me, lie about me, post my kids, and do all this other fugazi ass shit, that's your prerogative. But what I'm telling you is that you're not going back and forth with me. You mad at what I'm presenting? Cool. You can be mad, but it don't change the fact or the reasonings behind it. And the day ones that been with me, they know exactly the reasonings. Because future reference, from my perspective, when people look back on all the things that transpired, all of the deflecting, all of the distractions, they'll see my point of view. It ain't gonna be necessary for me to get on these platforms for 45 minutes to 3 to 4 hours harping over what these people are doing on these platforms that we see going on repetitively, not just with R. Kelly, with a lot of people. Diddy, Big U, Mo 3 situation, like all of these cases we're seeing being formed with people who present themselves out here to the public like they want to raise public awareness. They present themselves out here like they're advocating for shit, but in actuality, they're playing all in these cases. Take the Naziah Harris situation. You had all these people gaslighting individuals to put themselves so deep in the case that they got notified by the police. But my thing is, why didn't people do that same thing when it came to R. Kelly? Why wasn't it a big deal when it came to R. Kelly? Hold up. And thank you, Queen B. I really, really do appreciate that. Because again, the people that been following me from day one know that my whole platform was established not because I wanted to be the biggest supporter, the best supporter, none of that. I started my platform because I was witnessing, in my opinion, a whole lot of janky bullshit. So I began to dig into it, research it, watch these individuals, and that's how that went. When super fans began to enter the picture, whether they were for R. Kelly or against R. Kelly, it didn't change my motherfucking perspective. It wasn't gonna change the direction that I shape my content. And to this day, still ain't gonna be a topic of discussion other than my little saga of surviving the super fans. That's about all you gonna get when it comes to them. When it comes to them continuously trying to certain talking points, they can keep on because if you go back, they done already explained their perspective of what they feel like went wrong. They could spend all these long story times and bullshit with you, but then for some strange reason, when I put out certain information, they got to go back and start digging up other shit, other shit, other shit, other shit. That brings me to the main point that I'm finna get to. And that is, what the fuck does all this shit have to do with R. Kelly? You can try to tell the public that I'm this, I'm that. You can present me as a fucked up individual if that makes you feel better. But what the fuck does that have to do with R. Kelly? I keep saying the same motherfucking shit, and people wonder why I don't go live. Because I'm a little too real for these motherfucking platforms. My mouth gets a little reckless, obviously. And I don't feel like sitting here taking the time to think out what I'm trying to articulate to a bunch of motherfuckers that I feel like are dumb. Now, granted, I ain't calling my supporters and the people that understand my content dumb. I'm talking about the group of motherfuckers that always got something to say. Cause guess what? We got the same fucking time of day. We got the same access to devices and programs to do whatever it is we feel we want to do. But for some strange reason, we as black people sit up and obsess about people we don't fucking like. We claim we don't fucking watch, but always got something to motherfucking say. Make this shit make sense. Hold on. Mr. Libra asks, what do I think about Soldier Boy talking about R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, and Diddy? You already should know what I think about this shit. It's mighty fucking funny. These people want to go back and think about R. Kelly now, and these super fans confused why I'm gonna keep on bringing back. Hey, y'all should have been saying something. I don't give a fuck what you think R. Kelly did, what you think he didn't do. You're watching bullshit happen right in your fucking face. So I don't want to hear that Black Lives Matter bullshit. I ain't got to team up with a bunch of motherfuckers that think a man is guilty of doing shit but want to advocate for his fucking rights like the general public gonna give a motherfucker if you don't think that person is not guilty of what they're being accused of. Period. I don't give a fuck. If you want to call yourself a super fan, I don't give a fuck. If you wanted to come out here and start up janky ass nonprofits talking about you helping the women and children, don't care. All I know is when I give my perspective, when I start to open up about things that I documented, I'm going to be talking directly to my audience. So the motherfucker sitting on to the side watching, keep fucking watching. But don't expect me to be going back and forth with you, is what I'm getting to. I have never used this. So I don't even know how to add you at this point. Let me just send you the link again. Hold up. But yeah, going back to the question, what do I think about Soldier Boy or anybody else for that matter that'll selectively want to use R. Kelly name to talk about what this about R. Kelly after this man done been convicted? Never mind all the times that even I've been on this platform saying, hey, I don't care what you believe, but something ain't right here. Something ain't fucking right. And for me to give reasonable doubt, I have the very fucking same right that these freedom of speech looking ass bitches got. They want to come out here and create confusion. If they want to come out here and keep saying the opposite of what a supporter would say, and then want to take offense because same supporter says, I'm not fucking with these people. These people are weird. They on some janky shit. Leave me the fuck alone. Period. But to get mad because you have engulfed yourself so deeply into this man's case and what transpired with him, to keep getting mad every time you see a reminder and forget that I was trying to put you up on game and show you how this looks to the general public. While you sitting here capping for your little small audiences, let's think about this from a bigger perspective. Let's think about what other people who don't support R. Kelly would perceive from the content you're putting on these platforms. Does that mean that I should just stand by quietly as random ass motherfucking people just keep popping up talking about this and talking about that and talking about I lied about this? Bitch, I ain't got to lie about shit. That's why I drop receipts. And if you don't zoom into them and focus in on the points being presented, that's your own fault. Cause fuck your feelings. I ain't gonna keep saying that. The fuck? I saw another question. I just don't want nobody to feel like I'm ignoring anything they say, but I wanted to get my thoughts out first. That's another reason why I'm more comfortable doing uploads, because I have plenty of time to formulate the direction I want the video to go in. When I'm on live and also trying to attend to the comments, I get sidetracked on where I want to continue to go with it. But nonetheless, let me look for this question I saw. And I'm good. Thanks everybody for asking. Thanks everybody for being in the chat. Make sure you thumbs up the video, We're gonna have to put Prima back in the algorithm since other people are clearly trying to attach themselves to my fucking name. But I ain't R. Kelly, bitch. I'ma get on your motherfucking ass, hoe, with the receipts. Fuck is you talking about? You ain't gonna sit here and play on my motherfucking name. The fuck? Exactly, Queen Bee. And that's another point that a lot of the super fans may have forgot. The ones that claim to be for R. If you didn't like something that I presented, the way I presented, the way I talk, the way I articulate my findings, like I said not too long ago, you have the same opportunity to get on this jump and learn how to use these programs, learn how to maximize your platforms, get your followers up, and do what you is more appropriate. But what we ain't gonna do is keep coming for Prima Donna because Prima Donna made her own motherfucking name standing by her own motherfucking self. The fuck? She ain't had to go from platform to platform trying to piggyback off of each audience. Nah, that's why they mad. And then when they brought all their personal problems to the internet and mad because people like me got common sense to read between the lines, we not gonna play on Prima Donna name. The fuck? I swear to God, I don't know. Hold up. Oh, shiznick. Hold up. Hold up. I think I might have sent the link. Somebody said they think Cassie is not being 100% truthful because she has a black mother. And that'd be another thing to get me. How you gonna sit up here and try to piggyback off of my whole damn personality? But then the little other people over here trying to tell me, oh, I don't think people representing R. Kelly should do that. That's why I changed my icon in the beginning. People might have forgot. I knew that's what I'm saying about these super fans. They give off what the fuck really going on by the way they react and respond to shit. Because again, some of the fans didn't feel like my pictures were appropriate to represent R. Kelly. So guess what? I came with the little avatar. And when I saw that every time I pointed out what these people were doing behind the scenes, that they were also talking to me about or sending other people to put a bug in my ear about, they would just start reflecting the same type of energy. Oh, they feel this type of way about my old modeling pictures. And I don't give a fuck. How many times I got to keep saying that? Yet 100 lives later, 3,000 posts later, we still gonna keep doing the same shit. 25. We still gonna keep bringing up shit that they don't know shit about that I told y'all about from 2015 that they want to put a spin on. Again, ask yourself, what does that got to do with R. Kelly? But every time I come out here and I say that, oh, She just upset Kelly. And do you think I give a fuck? Clip this up. Put this on your page. Let me repeat it again, just in case you missed it. Oh, she just obsessed with R. Kelly. And do you think I give a fuck? Like, what does that mean to me? Because that's what you think. What if I was obsessed with R. Kelly? What does that have to change with I've shown you how these people played with this man defense, played with this man money, played with this man witnesses, played with the goddamn federal witnesses. But they sitting over here talking about Prima Donna did a fucking bikini car wash. Bitch, die. That's what I'm saying. Y'all can't take my mouth because I'm gonna keep bringing it back to the point. What does this have to do with R. Kelly? Clip that. Don't forget. Put that at the beginning and the end of your little bitch ass videos, okay? See, that's the thing, Queen Bee. These people were playing in the beginning. Then they got themselves involved in some fuckery and just mad because I clocked that T. You not gonna include me in no fuckery. You not gonna play on my name because you done stepped in some bullshit. They were not serious. They all had their ulterior motives. And that's all cool and dandy. Don't give a fuck about that. Clearly is what I said. Only thing I cared about is how I saw it was going to affect the person they claim to be supporting, the person that I'm researching. Therefore, if you get caught in the crossfires of what I'm documenting based on what you're doing at that time, what the fuck you talking about my pictures from 2015 got to do with any motherfucking thing? What you putting my kids up got to do with any motherfucking thing? You posting this picture and people that's been on my social media accounts know why I stopped posting my kids because of this stupid ass shit right here. Because if those that know me already know, the one of my kids that he posted today is 21. So go look at that picture and see how old that shit is and just realize that that's how limited of information that I actually put about myself on the internet because I know the type of weird ass motherfuckers that'll sit on this internet and try to play with you, try to trigger you and drop the ball. The fuck? My goddamn child, 20 fucking one. You posting a picture when she was goddamn what, 16? The fuck? What is their obsession with kids? Ask yourself that. What is their obsession when they can't get to the individual they're having issues with? When they can't trigger them, they start to blow and mention their kids. You can mention them all the fuck you want on this internet, but try to come near them. Period. Fuck. This shit is weird as hell. Then you get on here proposing questions to me, bitch. You not qualified to talk to me. The fuck? Then you got people in the comments that'll cheer this shit on. Cheer this shit on. And then wonder why I don't fuck with them. But then instead of just saying that, well, I was over here kickling and cackling while she was being attacked, so that's probably why she don't fuck with me. No, you want to come in and join in line with the bullshit and wonder why I just say I don't give a fuck what nobody fucking think. These people sat up here on all these goddamn late night lives dishing all this information that wasn't even necessary to know with each other, bringing those problems here to YouTube, forgetting the origins of the problems Then when they get drunk and high, come back on here and respin the story and start including people that didn't start the shit, that only came out here to speak on what was already put out. So for example, if I'm sitting here saying a motherfucker is harassing and cyber stalking me, and then another individual comes along and say this person has physically threatened me and this and that, and they go take the proper steps to file a report against this individual, why the fuck would I care if this individual come to the internet on bullshit trying to make it seem like I'm the one who went to the peoples and got him looked at? I'm the one who keep talking about even threatening the prosecutors, for example, when I'm the one who came on my platform and said I don't give a flying fuck if he did threaten the goddamn prosecutors, because in my opinion, they're watching him do the shit all over the fucking internet. So why would I give a fuck if he did the same thing and thought it was for y'all entertainment and try to play in the people's face while he sat on this goddamn internet, even though he was supposed to be banned off the internet, and people want to sit here and play dumb and act like they don't know that. Meanwhile, like I said, when I speak about a collective group of individuals, whether they said they was for or against R. Kelly, who the fuck always popping up? Make it make sense. It's clear as day. There's so many other people. It's clear as day. There's so many other people that could get offended, that could misinterpret what I'm presenting. But when you skip that I'm also talking and giving my perspective off of what actually happened, not what people feel, why would I care? If my video jumping in and out, that means y'all need to hit the like button. No, I'm just playing. They probably reporting it. Who knows? You know, they do stuff like that. Like that. Yeah, I know he needs serious help. Like he need to be in the little white jacket with his hands holding himself type crazy. But that's why I can't respect none of the stuff that they brought to the internet, because all of it went from trying to get next to certain individuals to create your own credibility. Then it went to now I'm a shit on this person because I no longer need them. And when they start to expose the shit that they were actually playing a party to, then we start wanting to attack Prima Donna because I obviously ain't got shit to do with none of the shit they doing. When it comes to how the media is portraying R. Kelly's fans and supporters, I want it to be the one platform that stood on business. Fuck what they doing, fuck what they talking about. We gonna keep the focus on R. Kelly. And when they saw that, in my opinion, they wanted to disrupt that. So by any means necessary, it became a thing to keep trying to bring Prima Donna into these narratives. It went from R. Kelly's supporters are secretly working with the feds because select group of individuals wanted to ignore that. I'm putting it on display. It's obvious individuals are working these platforms. From the moment I got in contact with Cash, and people forgot what she came to the internet talking about. And it was R. Kelly's goons tried to run me off the internet. It wasn't just all about exposing Tim, exposing Angelo. See, that's what I'm saying about these weirdo ass motherfucking people. They want to selectively pick and choose what they want to run with without considering everything. So, with that being said, when I told people to pay attention to what's going on with her from day one, I sat there and turned around and watched people condone attacking her for whatever reason, and then wondering why shit hit the fan. But don't get mad at me because I was able to piece together. I don't trust this motherfucker. I don't trust this motherfucker. I don't care what they said this person did. They doing this. So that don't even look right. PI on YouTube? What? That don't make sense. You see where I'm going? But let them tell it. I don't have the same right or the freedom of speech to come on here and give my perspective, give my quote unquote narrative. But they can get on this bitch and keep trying to spin narratives about me in a quote unquote R. Kelly sector. Make that make sense. What does that have to do with R. Kelly? Like, how many times do I got to keep saying that? When they get done with whatever it is they got to say, y'all need to drop in the comments, okay, so what does this have to do with R. Kelly? Put in my Prima Donna voice. What does this have to do with R. Kelly? I wish y'all could put a voice note on this bitch. Cause it's been 5, 6 years of people keep spinning the same bullshit. It's like if you watch a movie and then you come back and you keep watching it 2, 3, 4 times later, like that shit is old. Maybe that's why they keep replacing the players that's involved in it. But at the end of the day, make it make sense. You can't sit up here and ask me, oh, why didn't y'all call this out from day one? Maybe you've been lost in the sauce, but Prima been on point as far as pointing out this look janky. You wanted me to come out here and put names on it for what? For I don't see y'all typing in no comments and none shit when y'all see my kids go up. I don't see y'all typing when y'all see Prima Donna, Prima Ho, none of that shit in the motherfucking title. I miss that. But for some strange reason, Prima Donna need to be the one to come out here and keep taking all this bullshit from these delusional ass people that at this particular point, I don't know what they want to call themselves. Because they'll come out here talking about they support the man and then come out here and say some shit that they think he guilty of. Then to come out here and ask somebody else some other stupid ass questions when they need to go ask the goddamn janky ass private investigator. The fuck is you asking Prima for? Why don't you go ask the power of attorney? Hmm? Where them goddamn Olsen twins go? Hmm? Oh, y'all must have forgot why they up here talking about R. Kelly done wrote 25 albums that Cash Jones came out here accusing people of stealing fucking music, which was what got a lot of super fans uptight about me in the first fucking place when it came to them goddamn Olsen twins. You want to get mad at me because I got common sense to know a man with a 30-year career don't need no motherfucking A&R. Fuck is y'all talking about? All you doing is giving a person experience. So don't play with me like I'm slow, because y'all slow and don't read between the lines. But what I'm saying is, according to what was put out here, some music was stolen. Then you had a motherfucker come out here trying to bargain with the goddamn intellectual property. Then you had people falling out because of what was going on with the intellectual property. But they don't think that people saw all this shit and why a motherfucker got on people platform, then name dropping who was at the storage and this, and that, and wonder why I keep questioning the chain of custody, the all the shit the motherfuckers should have been focused on instead of Prima Donna photos from 2015. Putting together they little version of they collages of my pictures like I give a fuck. Cause again, what does that have to do with R. Kelly? Audra, I'm gonna say it like this. I have yet to see any confirmation that R. Kelly was in a sexual relationship with RL. People may have forgot when I first started this shit, and even going back to surviving R. Kelly, I felt like it was a little bit of coercion and bullshit into effect when it came to RL, and these people talking about victims' rights, but exploiting her. That never sat well with me from day one. So it was not my job to come out here and try to confirm or deny any of that. It was my stance to come into question what brought into all of this sequence of events. It was my objective to question the chain of custody with the so-called evidence that was obviously shown to multiple so-called witnesses who thought they were on the tape. People skipped that in the fucking trial who went to the fucking trial, but I read clear as day. So with that being said, when I go back to 2000, 2001, 2002, and I get to the origin of the R. Kelly sex tape and see how it expounded to so-called CP was passed around from all these individuals, and then people just conveniently pop up with copies. What is the more pressing issue to somebody who is taking action that they don't believe the narratives they've heard? I don't know, you might have to go through the playlist of the tape because there's portions that they've said was allegedly Rashona. But if you notice, I also posted other clippings from the same video that is still readily available on the internet that shows some discrepancies from the girl in question to the man in question. It just looks like the video is funny. So, with that being said, the major emphasis in me posting the other images from the same tape is to put on people's mind, hey, what's up with these other girls? They focusing in on this one individual who they claim they were able to recognize from being this girl's niece and all this other fugazi shit. You could recognize that one girl on the tape. Why is the focus on that one girl when there was other people on the damn video? That's the emphasis, not trying to take away from other people's perspective that it was her on the tape, because that ain't where I was going with that. Well, I can't say that. Well, I can say that she benefited from Section 8 and other benefits from the government by testifying. So when I had, and she also got immunity. So again, why would I have somebody that's supposedly a star witness in a case? Why do they need immunity? Why does another person who claims they were on the tape with the same person, why does she need immunity and skip around how they're trying to make extortion into uh obstruction of justice? How do you sit here and spin it like R. Kelly was obstructing justice when people were clearly shaking him down? From my perspective, when you got the person in question who was doing the extortion getting immunity, all these people that selectively get immunity, that should put into question why they're actually testifying. What gives them that credibility? especially when there's information that will shed light to the janky business that would lead to them participating or cooperating with states. Why see, Alicia said it all. To wait all these years and keep putting this spin on this alleged CP tape, to have this janky ass attorney go to CNN and show them the tape, and then the woman come back on the platform and say she can't confirm the age of the person on the tape. But we gonna skip that. Why the fuck is she being shown the damn tape? We gonna skip. Why are all these people showing other individuals this child, this CP? Why are these people who claim they just found these tapes and shit like that? Why they going to the attorneys instead of the police? Like it's too many other questions that people can ask other than the ones that make the man look guilty, which is the perspective that I have and the problem I had with the super fans trying to push their feelings on me. So with that being said, regardless of what I think or thought about certain things, I clearly remain consistent with challenging whose role it is to prove the allegations beyond a reason or a reasonable doubt. I never said it's my role to get on here and play go-go gadget. I'm finna dox and harass every fucking body that I think did this and I think did that instead of sticking to the topic. And that's where a lot of these people went wrong. What does your freedom of speech have to do with my freedom of speech? When I say what I feel freely, what makes people think I got to debate with them? But back to what Alicia was saying. So we had this whole trial back in 2002 all the way to 2008 against R. Kelly, making the tape, right, that they said was CP. Why didn't nobody go to jail for distributing the CP, for remanufacturing the CP? Nowadays, if you watch what happened with Ray J and Kim Kardashian, there's supposed to be proper documentation in place for situations like this when releasing those type of videos and images. So how did they get around all that? Why wasn't nobody prosecuted for that? Everybody keeps saying what R. Kelly should have did. Why didn't RL stand up for herself or her parents? Considering now they want to come back around the corner talking about victims' right and making them anonymous when nobody obviously gave a fuck about keeping who they felt was on the tape anonymous. Let's figure this out. It's okay to make a whole docu-series talking about this is the alleged girl on the tape. But in court, we want to give 10, 12 motherfuckers the right to their privacy, even though they've been on ample platforms telling their stories, when half of them didn't go to the police. Another point, I don't know who brought the sting operation up. If you gonna sit here and tell me that this man is a predator, and I've said this from day one, that this man got a cult, everybody knew this. Y'all seen To Catch a Predator. Y'all seen all these operations where they have busted up these trafficking rings. But you expect me to believe that they had to skip all that, go to make this grand production, promote it, get it all in the goddamn news, get everybody on board with surviving R. Kelly. That's the route we gonna go to catch a predator. Make this make sense? Then you got the prosecutors talking about, yeah, we started our investigation after watching Surviving R. Kelly. Hold up. But you've been in Chicago all these motherfucking years, and people came to these platforms telling us that everybody knew this, everybody knew that. What the fuck is you talking about? You watched Surviving R. Kelly, and that's what prompted y'all investigations. When you see other people RICO cases such as Big U and all these people, what you hearing about? Wiretaps, right? You hearing about wiretaps. But what did we see emerging on these fucking platforms? People and they janky ass recordings. Just let that sink in for a minute. So again, we a lot of us that are talking about it, we were young when this tape came out. And even with me being young, I remember it being said an R. Kelly sex tape at that time. Then when you had people who wanted to bring this case about and selectively get in contact or is contacted by this individual who's making quite the name talking about R. Kelly, because he can readily see that it's her niece on the tape. And according to these individuals, they can sit together and talk about going to an attorney with the tape. Why would you need to go to an attorney with the tape, even back then, when you should just go to the police? It's too many questions that could have been asked, that need to be talked about, that is more prevalent than Prima Donna, is the point in this live. Like I said, I'm most definitely going to continue my Surviving the Superfans saga. And I'm going to give my perspective from beginning to end on how I perceive things going left, where I perceive things hitting the fan. So to question me about why the defense didn't do this and didn't do that, you'd have to go ask the damn defense. Because Prima Donna wouldn't know that. Prima Donna wasn't trying to engulf herself with the defense just to get on her platform and talk shit about them. Okay? Prima Donna didn't have none of the witnesses on her platform playing in y'all face. Prima Donna didn't have the so-called accusers on her platform playing in y'all face. So maybe, just maybe, instead of asking any questions like that to me, you might want to go ask the people who engulfed themselves in R. Kelly's case, who now want to survive Prima Donna. Because it's cute. I like the way that sounds. Like I told you, I don't give a damn. Which way you want to spin the same story? Receipts don't lie. See my point? I just opened so many doors that people could focus on, but you know what some is gonna do? They gonna continue to dwell upon their feelings about how they feel about Prima Donna, and Prima Donna is gonna continue to not give a fuck. Cause I'm gonna keep saying, what does how you feel about Prima Donna got to do with R. Kelly? Because Prima Donna ain't get on her and threaten to get R. Kelly beat up. Prima Donna ain't get on her and co-sign not no fucking janky ass fundraisers. Prima Donna didn't put all this energy into making a janky ass documentary that included a fucking federal witness. Prima Donna ain't do none of that shit. But Prima Donna can rightfully talk about all that shit from my perspective. Just know every time they get to talking about Prima Donna, Prima Donna is gonna jump back out there and say, okay, but what does this have to do with R. Kelly? You get it? With that being said, that's about all I wanted to say. See, we can't even discuss. I ain't even gonna put too much flair on the Damon Pryor situation because again, the people lurking and watching trying to spin their narratives, they'll come out here and act like I or people like y'all who can readily go get the same information that I got just pulled that information out of our ass. We just made up this big conspiracy to lie on this person or to defend R. Kelly because information that has already been out here gives reasonable doubt. No, we not gonna talk about Damon Pryor. No, but we ain't gonna forget that, like I said long time ago, we know that R. Kelly had body doubles. We know that R. Kelly had security footage in his house. Okay, I'm just leave it right there and remind the people what was always my question from day one. Why are we relying on this janky ass video that's been passed? This person found over here at this person's house. Why are we relying on that when they could have just went and got the security footage? Hmm? Make it make sense. But you know, if you don't know nothing else, I'm most definitely gonna keep doing me. Cause at the end of the day, I really don't care, never did care who you chose to watch, who you chose to support. What I got a problem is when they clearly see some of the things that they took a party to, and instead of expounding on what was going on, what went wrong with that, they want to sit here and deflect with Prima Donna. That's cool. They could keep doing that. And they could keep surviving Prima Donna. But I said what I said. With that, I'm gonna get on up off here. Unless y'all got anything else y'all might want to ask. Oh, uh, posting some of these janky ass songs that clearly are not R. Kelly. Please, please share that on your own page. I'm not sharing this shit. I'm not posting this shit, and I'm gonna delete your comment. Like we too goddamn old to keep playing these little stupid ass games and falling for the okey doke. It's clear as day we know R. Kelly has more music. He's always had more music. But what we ain't gonna do is conveniently skip around some of the fraudulent ass shit that we all witnessed when it came to this music. also known as R. Kelly's intellectual property, that had certain individuals beefing and bringing that to YouTube, but acting like we supposed to act like we didn't see the shit. So fuck. Exactly. We gonna keep it pushing. We not studying nothing they talking about. They want to keep spinning the same narrative, even though the trial over. So at this particular point, what is the obsession with continuously trying to merge themselves in what I'm doing with my content? Oh, because you seen your picture in the mix. Well, you shouldn't have did what you did. How about that? But at the end of the day, you don't dictate what I do with my content. You don't dictate what I say. And you can keep getting on your platform fabricating what you think about my photos, my pictures, my life, posting my kids even. But the gag is I'm still not gonna give a fuck. Now y'all have a good night.